What's Your Position podcast is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised. On part 1 of today's quickie, we're talking about love languages. Would you guys like to hear an unrelated joke? I couldn't find one about love language love languages. So
It's okay.
That's fine.
anyway,
What is it?
what's the most common STI in the wizarding world?
Oh, God. This is a nerd one. I'll never get it.
Hogwarts. And now, with love from Huntington Beach, your host, Ashley Weller. Did you like that? I've been holding that one for a minute.
Oh, God. Welcome, fellow
God.
humans, to another quickie on What's Your Position, Season 5. We've got a 3-part quickie. I know, I just dropped that.
Damn, that was
Bomb.
a surprise
Whoa.
for even me.
Yeah.
3?
Yep. So part 1 is love languages.
We should call this like an afternoon delight. It's a little bit longer than a quickie.
Yeah. I
That
like
is the new, that's the
It's a
new-
long
Afternoon
form.
delight.
It's in between a full frontal and a
Like
quickie.
a-
It's
It
an
is.
afternoon delight.
It's an afternoon delight.
There we go.
I enjoy that, actually.
Take a nooner.
Take a noon.
Take a nooner. We're going to do 3 parts. We're going to do love languages, and then we're going to do attachment styles, and then we're going to do Gottman style secure relationship ideas for you. I love John Gottman. So
Very
we're going to
cool.
start with Gary Chapman,
He's a homie.
who is
weird.
absolutely weird and
Weirdo.
has no scientific backing.
Yeah, if you've never heard of how the love languages came to be, like, get ready for your shit to get rocked.
A little weird.
It's kind of weird.
Then we're gonna go to John Bowlby, who is from
Boobies.
the 20s, 30s, who created this theory of attachment, and it still holds true. And then we're gonna go to a current researcher, John Gottman, and his wife, and we're gonna talk about some ways to keep your relationship keeping strong, and you can use any, all, or none of what we're about to dive into in these quickies. But some people understand and recognize the love languages, so we want to touch upon those. But we also want to maybe make them better and maybe shed some light on why the love languages are not the only thing that you shouldn't
Right.
look at the love languages and say,
It's not an end all.
I did the dishes.
Yeah.
My relationship is fixed.
It's great. It's great. I bought you a gift.
We're fixed.
I'm done.
I'm done now.
For the day.
Where's my gift? Right. So we're going to give you some tips and tricks on how to make the love languages work better in your relationship. And then we're going to talk about maybe adding some love languages to your relationship. And we've all come up with at least one.
At least one.
My sad.
You know,
At least one. Kevin.
you always have to have a weak link in everything. It's
okay.
It's definitely
You are the weak link.
I
We
know.
should get
what?
that as a soundbite.
you are the weakest link.
If
I'm just
you're
here-
if you're the weakest link and you're only as strong as your weakest link, then you must be pretty awesome because we're pretty great. So
I know. Well, actually,
Go relationship.
yeah, no,
see, right?
we're pretty cool.
Words of affirmation.
Yeah, there you go. Right now, you're on topic.
Thank you. So we're going to talk about the love languages. So what are the love languages? Gary Chapman is the original individual who came up with these. He released a book called The 5 Love Languages back in the 90s. He was a Baptist preacher, and he wanted to help people in marriages have better relationships. And
Yeah.
his heart was in a really good place.
Sure.
And it does come from a place of religion. So if you've ever taken the 5 love language test, know that it is heteronormative. So it's
Right.
about being married in a Christian relationship, which
To a member of the opposite sex.
for Christian relationships is typically a member of the opposite sex.
Yep.
And it's about making your marriage better. But the 5 love languages can actually be applied to friendships. It can be applied to family relationships. It can be applied to relationships that are romantic that don't involve a ring. It can be applied to relationships with any sexual orientation or gender. So it's a little outdated, but he was coming from a place of Southern Baptist, and he also wanted to help married couples, and he did. So good on you, Gary. What happened was that psychiatrists, like therapists, counselors, glommed on to this
Like
novel
marriage
idea,
like MFTs?
like MFTs, and
Yeah.
probably people who had less than an MFT, who were counseling individuals, were like, "This is a great way for people to understand their spouse a little bit better." And it started getting like pushed as pseudoscience. And it's not Gary's fault. He he didn't know his book was going to be a
Hey.
bestseller for 300 weeks. He had no
went
clue.
viral.
He went viral in the 90s, basically, is what he did.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
he was just writing it for people that he knew. And,
And I mean, everything doesn't have to be scientifically backed to be useful.
it also, you need to understand that human relationships are complicated, and you probably need to understand more deeply about yourself as a person
Oh yeah.
before you just go haul off and say, "I like presents."
Yeah. I feel like
Gimme.
this is a good kind of intro into starting to understand yourself better and
Yeah.
how you receive things
Yeah.
or receive love.
How you receive love and how you give love. So this is kind of phase 1 in understanding who you are in a relationship. And this should not be taken on its own. But if this is the only relationship you listen to, please understand that the 5 love languages, while awesome and helpful in helping you learn about yourself more, should not be taken as be all end all. This
it's not
is
the-
one
yeah.
tool. This is a singular tool that you can use. And I highly recommend that if you're going to spend time taking your love language quiz, that you also take your attachment style quiz. And if you are interested, go check out the attachment style episode and then the Gottman relationship episode after that. Having said that, I know what my love language is. So we're going to go around the room, and I am going to ask you what your top love language is, and then I am going to describe it. Of the ones that do not get mentioned, I will describe them afterwards. So love languages are typically seen as ways that you either give or receive love. It can be both. You can give and receive in the same language. And it can change over time. So if your relationship is being fulfilled in ways that weren't filled in a previous relationship, you might change your love language because now you're missing another area. But
Yeah.
your love language typically stays on average the same over time. Mine is acts of service. I've taken this test every semester and it's never changed. Acts of service is expressed by doing things to show your love. So it's a love language that can actually get really easily missed within a coupledom. And it also gets used as a form of currency. Like,
Oh.
I
Like,
did, this
that
for
so
you, so you
like
need to
keeping
do-
a tally. Like,
Correct,
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
which can be a negative. So really be mindful if your partner or if you are acts of service for love, I may do those things for you. It's really nice to get them in return, but I don't expect them. So expectation is huge when it comes to this stuff. So it can be everyday mundane tasks like laundry or dishes. I've mentioned numerous times on the podcast that husband Kevin Weller, when he does the dishes, it was part of his vows. He knew that was something I really hated to do. So he put it in his wedding vows that he would do the dishes, and he does. I literally,
Every day.
I only do the dishes when he's not looking. And then when he comes in the kitchen,
She steals it.
I
From me
do.
sometimes. I'm like, babe.
that's my job.
I'm like, just.
I'm here
give
to
me a
do
couple-
dish.
Yeah, I'm here to
Let me do dish.
A dish.
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 I dish.
I dish.
I dish. Damn it.
Let me dish. But I appreciate it. And I appreciate that, he's going to take my computer in to get checked. He's going to, the other day he got a toilet seat changed, and that just like takes things off. We have a running note in our relationship. I put things on note and he does things on note. And it's like, thank you for doing things. I appreciate
Well,
it.
because you are the
Busiest human in the
busiest person.
That's facts.
By choice, though. Not on accident. This is by choice.
No, it's my own damn choice. The idea.
Anytime you have 5 minutes alone,
I
I'm
don't
like, are you good?
You
Are
okay?
sure? Like, you want to...
Why are your eyes closed? Wake up. The idea is that acts of service is when we go out of our way to do things, not because they have to get done or be checked off the to-do list. It's because someone is taking a task off of your plate. Acts of service might be your love languages if You feel loved when your partner supports you and helps ease your responsibilities, do little chores and tasks for you. If it means that when someone follows through on a promise, especially if they were paying attention when you maybe didn't specifically ask for help, but they recognized that you may need help, this helps build trust with your partner and shows you that they pay attention to the little details about you. If you think that talk is cheap and that actions speak louder than words, acts of service might be your love language. If you need someone to come through and you know that you can rely on them by their behaviors rather than what they say, that's huge. Acts of service might be your love language if you love when your partner steps up to do little things to make your life easier. Or if you notice that your partner steps up to alleviate a burden that you didn't even realize you were taking on by taking something off your plate. When small acts help you feel cared for and taken care of, acts of service might be your love language. Mia, what is your love language?
Quality time.
Wonderful. Quality time. So quality time is all about giving time, which is a precious commodity.
I think it's because I'm an only child.
Yeah, right.
And I had a lot of, you have to go make your own fun.
Oh, yeah.
So I like it when people want to give me their time.
Right.
It's very
Quality
valuable.
time is important. Yeah. Time is valuable in this society. And time is something that we really take for granted. And when someone is willing to give over not just their time, but their attention as well. Because you can be in a relationship where someone's like, yeah, let's go out to dinner. And they spend the whole time on the phone.
Right.
Or they're watching a game, right, on television. Or they answer a call in the middle of a conversation. Or quality time can be said, but like when it's really this undivided attention, you're the only person I care about kind of attention, that's really important to people who have quality time as their love language. And it can be as small as watching a show together, watching a film together, talking about it. It can be as big as taking a trip together and planning that trip and really like getting into I'm going to spend this time with you. And it means a lot to me that we are in this together. Staring deep into one another's eyes, contemplating the universe. Kind of
not
time.
that. I don't want that. Don't make eye contact with me.
What is it you personally like about quality time?
I think it's what you were saying about like undivided attention. Like we're completely here now together, and that's just like really awesome to be like worthy of your time, I guess. Like you want to, because like you were saying, like time is money. Like time is literally worth something. So the fact that you're willing to give that to me is like really cool.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of why my second one is like, I'm assuming my second one from after taking that quiz, I was like, yeah, I agree with a lot of this. Would probably be like gifts, but specifically like handmade gifts, because that's like quality time.
That is kind of quality time mixed in.
You're spending the time to like make me that meal, to make me that cool item of clothing, or to make me that painting or picture. Like you spent time and you were thinking about me while you were working on that. Like that's really cool. Like you made this. Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking the same thing. Quality time might be your love language if you like uninterrupted time with people. It is critical that you have time to hang out and enjoy each other's undivided attention with no distractions. It may be your love language if it is meaningful when they make time for you, prioritize you in their schedule, and they don't cancel plans or flake out at the last minute.
Yeah. But even if we're just like there working on something together, like just sharing the space is really cool too.
Yeah. Creating memories actually is the next. Creating moments, creating special memories, creating new experiences means the world to you. Time is precious and meaningful, and you want to soak in every moment of your time together. It may also be your love language if you feel content and happy around your partner, even if you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that you are spending time together. So quality time is actually my second love language because I took the full one. And acts of service is like, I'm like 90% acts of service, but I'm like 70% quality time because I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I actually love experiences more than anything.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't want things.
You want to make the most of your time and spend it.
Yeah.
Just use
vacations
Yeah.
are a love language for me.
Right.
Music, going to see shows, going to concerts, like those kinds of going in.
And it's like an added bonus that you can do that with
Going to Dark
somebody,
Harbor,
but
going to make
Yeah.
stained glass windows, like
Right.
that. Those things, it's important for me to like share, make memories with people. So I think if you like to make memories and if you like experiences more than quality time, it might be right up your alley.
Yeah.
Husband Kevin Weller,
I don't even remember what mine was.
it's Words of Affirmation.
Okay, there you go.
You're actually right on the borderline of physical touch and words of
that was
affirmation.
because of this too. When I was looking at it, I was like trying to remember which one I got when I did take it the one time.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, all of them could be.
Interesting that you say that. Please refer back to that in just a moment. But tell me which one you like more right now. Physical
Right
touch?
now, I like physical touch.
Yeah.
That's one.
All right.
I think.
We're going to go into that one then. So everyone automatically assumes that every guy's love language is physical touch.
Right.
Or assumes that it's all about sex. And
No, that's definitely not.
it's definitely not.
No.
It is definitely not about
That's
Yeah,
nice.
when I was
That-
taking the quiz, there was one question about like sharing an innocent touch, and I thought that was I've never thought about it that way because you're right. I assumed sex and intimacy
Well, I mean, no,
straight off the
usually
bat,
when you
but
talk,
it's so
like,
cute,
especially between like a girl and a guy, like
Right.
putting your hand or her hand on my shoulder, and there's nothing sexual about it.
Right.
It's just like, hey, like
a
we're
supportive
friends.
touch.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like anything more than just like,
Yeah.
hey,
Right.
And even like around your bros, if you like hug your bro,
Yeah.
it's like that's nice. Like
Yeah,
that's
right.
really nice to receive that kind of like
and I've always been such a big hugger.
you
Like,
and you get
I've
the
had-
best.
Oh yeah, I
and
love a hug.
I've had people be like, "Wow, dude, you're like the best. You like give the best hugs."
Yep.
And I did never, but I think when I was, it probably wasn't until like I was like 16 or 17 where I started to like, because my dad, he would give me like hugs, and I know between like as I was getting older, he started to kind of change the way like we were like father son. He started giving me more like I think affection that way. And then I realized I'm like, dude, I want a fucking good hug. Like I want a good hug from somebody.
yeah.
You know, don't like do this side shit where you
Yeah.
kind of like
Oh, side hugs kind of make me angry.
right, right.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm all
Just
if you're-
either don't hug me or hug me.
yeah, like
pick
if,
one.
If we're friends, I'm coming in for the fucking squeeze.
Yeah,
That's
Cherie,
just- yeah.
our friend Cherie, she loves your hugs so much. Like she waits.
She's told me, multiple times.
My grandmother and my aunt love your hugs. Like they can't wait to get a hug from you. And they're really good. He gives me the same hug every time. When I come home, I'm like, yes. Yeah.
If I give her like a small hug, she's like, "Excuse me,
Hello?
are you
Hurtful?
The
what?
fuck was
Why
that?
are you mad at me?
What did
like?
I-
What are you talking about?
I just got home.
Excuse me?
You know, what kind of half-ass fucking hug was that?
Yeah, bitch.
Hug it out, motherfucker.
Hug or no
Hug
hug.
it out.
Pick
Right.
one.
There you go.
So Chapman talks about how babies respond to physical touch, and it's one of the first things that
yeah.
they crave. And so a lot of people with a secure attachment style have physical touch as one of their top love languages because they're secure in understanding that it doesn't mean anything more than a good hug
Yeah.
from your dad,
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
your bro, or an arm on your elbow, I got you, or a good meaningful handshake at the end of a meeting, right? Or when you haven't seen anybody in a long time, and it's like
Right.
physical touch is meaningful to infants and it's meaningful to adults, and we went through a fucking pandemic where we could not touch
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah. that
And
is
I
true.
think that a lot of people are afraid of touch now. It's like,
Right. I'm even still to this day, I shake hands a lot. I work in sales. So that's kind of like
Yeah.
when you close a deal or when you meet somebody, it's like a hard, like a
Yeah.
hearty handshake is a big part of meeting somebody or like closing a deal. And it's weird because like, I like to give handshakes, but I also haven't been sick for 4 or 5 years now. And
yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do because I haven't been fucking touching
Yeah.
people,
Oh, yeah.
like our hands, you know? And so it's kind
Yeah.
of like this thing, and it becomes awkward too because some guys don't want it, like they still don't want to like shake
Right.
hands because they
Yeah.
know the touch and the germs and the bacteria and all that shit.
Yeah.
And it was so funny when, you know, during COVID, it was like a hip check or like an elbow.
elbow. Hi,
Like an-
I do
Right.
elbows a
Right.
lot with
Yeah.
students.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
right.
I'm not touching the students.
Right?
So children who are regularly hugged and kissed by their parents are said to develop healthier emotional lives and healthier romantic relationships than those who weren't.
Yeah, that tracks.
Right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't just have to do with sexual activity, but it can.
Right.
And sexual activity can be part of physical touch in a romantic relationship.
course.
Yeah.
But there's other ways to show affection in a romantic relationship: hand holding, cuddling. Kevin is like the master cuddler.
Yeah.
Putting our arms around one another, putting your hand in the small of someone's back when they go through a room, getting someone's hand when they get out of a car.
Yeah.
Putting your arm around somebody. These are kissing someone on the forehead.
Playing with somebody's hair.
Oh God, yeah, that one.
I love that.
That's like
I do like
great
that.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Melt.
and if these things make you melt, then this is probably your love language. If you look forward to hugs, cuddles, and kissings,
Yeah.
if you feel grounded when physical affection is easily accessible and cultivated,
Yeah.
if holding hands, long embraces, and kisses are common, or you want them to be common, you likely have a physical touch as love language. If you're game for public displays of affection and it helps you feel wanted and desired, if your partner sits next to you and you'd rather sit next to them rather than across from them, you do this all the
Dude.
time at restaurants.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, I would rather sit next to you.
Yeah.
But the reason I like to sit across from you because I like to talk to you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're sideways,
Yeah.
It's kinda
and
hard to
And
talk.
whenever we go out, we
Then you can
we
just
go
play
to a
footsies.
restaurant, shabu shabu, that we go there because
We love them.
almost when we have a big group of people, I want everybody to be facing each other.
Yeah.
Cal shabu, it's like a line you
Right,
can't
right.
talk to the person down. So,
Yeah. It's like at a bar top.
but yeah, sitting next to people, I love that. Like it's
Yeah.
like what's up, like
You feel their energy.
right.
Yeah.
The energy is a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's physical touch. So let's move on to words of affirmation, which is Kevin's probably second one. I don't have this one in my chart. I mean, I like it, but I also get super uncomfy. Like when people are like, "Oh, you're so pretty," I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Good job." But was it? Like, really? Are you sure? I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I could feel that.
Words of affirmation. So Mark Twain famously said, "I can live for 2 months on a good compliment."
There we go.
Say nice things to people. I
Yeah.
love saying that. I love
Well,
giving people genuine compliments. I really do.
For guys, that's huge because
Yeah.
a lot of guys, and they always say, you see it on social media and people talking about it, like a guy he will remember a compliment he got like a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because guys don't get compliments. Like girls always are complimenting each other, like, "Oh my God, you're so
True.
pretty.
Fair.
Oh my God, I love your hair. Oh my
I
God, let
literally
me see your-"
complimented a patient I had today on her nails. I was like, I
Yeah,
love your
right,
nails.
right.
They're so
Girl,
cute. They were
that's-
really cute.
That's just like a part of women's
Right.
interaction with one another.
I compliment the male patients I get too. Like this
Yeah.
guy came in with really cool patterned pants.
Yeah, there
and
you
I was
go.
like, those are rad. I
Yeah.
love your pants.
You know, and I get it though, because if a girl gives a guy a compliment,
Right.
sometimes
It's
the
like-
guy's like, "Oh, she wants to fuck."
Yeah. Which is why
Just like
wary of it. But
and
yeah.
that's not fact. Just
Yeah.
an FYI to
Yeah,
those
no.
guys out there
It's
listening.
literally just I like your
because
pants.
oh my God,
I
a
want
girl
those
talk
pants.
right, exactly.
I don't want to get in those pants.
No, I want them.
You want the pants on the ground, right?
I
Like,
want
off of
I
him.
want yeah, I
So
want
that
them.
I can have
so that
the
I can
pants.
have them. Yeah.
Just take it as a human compliment.
Right.
It's nice to be nice to humans, right?
Yeah, I think I definitely started giving people more compliments once I started working in retail because I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God,
makes
yeah,
sense.
that's so cute. Like, this is going to look great on you. Like,
Right.
you know, some of them I meant, but getting more into the habit of it, it's always fun to like see someone's face light up.
Yeah, because you know their day will be
Yeah.
like
Yep.
better that day because they're like, "Oh wow, I love these shoes. Thank
Like,
you
I-
for
like, it
noticing
makes
that."
like a little confidence boost.
I
Right.
witnessed the cutest thing at Chapman the other day. I was walking in the crosswalk, and in the crosswalk, it's an X. So everyone can
Oh,
cross
yeah,
from
yeah.
every side,
big
from
one.
all
Yep.
angles. And I was on the same side as a girl, and another girl was coming across the crosswalk. And as the two of us passed this girl, the girl next to me goes, "Oh my God, your top is so cute." And the other girl was like, "Thank you. Oh my gosh, I was thinking the same thing about yours."
Oh.
And then they completed their pass, and they both said, "Have a great day." And
That's so cute.
they didn't say each other's name or like
Yeah.
know one another. It was just, and I do that to people when I see it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy brightening. It's positive psychology. It's not altruistic. It really gives you a boost when you boost someone else's day.
Absolutely.
So giving a compliment or giving verbal appreciation is it's really important in relationships. And I actually think that words of affirmation should be used in all relationships because it's also saying thank you.
Yeah.
It's also showing gratitude
Right.
for people. And you should be grateful for your partner, and you should be grateful for your friends, and you should be grateful when people do things for you, even if it's small, right?
Yeah.
Like, thank you for taking out the trash.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for always remembering to make my lunch. Like, things that would go unnoticed typically, but thank you for always answering the phone when I call. Like, it goes a long way when you say thank you. And I think that more people would have better relationships if they were just more grateful and were more appreciative of the people that were around them.
The little things.
Yeah. Words of affirmation might be your love language if you like hearing your partner say, I love you. These 3 words are particularly meaningful for a lot of people and very special and reassuring. There's other ways to say I love you. Did you eat? Are you hungry? Mm-hmm. Don't forget your sweater.
Do you want help with that?
Right? Yeah.
I do it by taking you to the beach all the time now.
All the time. Do you want to go to the beach is my new love language.
Yeah.
Do you want to go watch the sunset is my...
That's because I know you love that.
Yeah. Our friend moved away.
Do you want to bite?
Do you want to bite? That's another one.
Yeah, I like that's a good one.
A good hug can be an I love you.
Yeah.
That's a good... Yeah, that's it. Like, do you want to bite? Do you want it like sharing food?
Do you want the last bite?
Oh,
that's a big one. That's
a
an
big
I
one.
love you.
I think I would only do that for you.
Yeah, same.
That's I love you.
Same.
Do you want the last
Or
bite?
my-
I love the
or
last
my
bite. You're like,
siblings. Yeah.
what?
If my siblings asked for the last bite, I would give it to them for sure. Yeah, I would for sure. If you appreciate when you're being acknowledged and praised, if you appreciate when someone is like, "Hey, I can tell that you've been working out. You
look good."
Look good. It's nice to have your efforts recognized with kind words. The details matter. If it's important to you that your partner remarks on things like if you've changed your hair or actually put work into like changing your outfit instead of just pajamas for a Zoom call. When people show that they're paying attention by commenting on it, it really makes you feel good. If you feel valued when people thoughtfully reflect or comment on something positive that they notice that you've been doing in your life, whether it is for you or for them, if that's important to you, words of affirmation might be for you. Or when you do something nice for other people and that person says thank you, and that thank you really feels affirming and makes you feel recognized, then words of affirmation might be for you. The last one is receiving gifts. And this one gets a lot of fucking shit.
It does.
It gets a lot of flack.
Because it sounds kind of like from face value
Shallow.
might sound shallow
like,
or bad.
or I'm like using it to leverage.
Right.
Like I give you this,
right.
So you give me
This
that.
is another
right?
love language that can be used as sort of well, I bought you this. Why didn't you buy me something
Right.
of equal or lesser value?
Yeah.
Right.
And so I think that this one gets more flack than it deserves. But gifts doesn't necessarily mean physical items that you purchased.
Right.
As a matter of fact, and I know that Gary Chapman, in all of his religious glory, may not have written this for everyone. It applies to everyone because gifts can also be the gift of presence. That's actually in the book.
Or the gift of the Lord.
The gift.
Would you like to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
Right. I give you the gift of Lord.
Oh my God. No, but it could be the gift of someone. I hate you.
I didn't even do that on purpose. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry.
The gift of someone's presence could be a gift. A stick.
I love cool sticks and rocks.
Okay, please tell the listeners what you read earlier.
Oh my
about
gosh. Oh
crows.
shit. I wonder. It was like I was looking up
like
attachment style joke.
Did you say something about crows?
Other
Yeah.
love languages, and she said, "Ashley, this is you."
It was like my love language is I'm a crow, and if you're nice to me, I'll get you tiny little
Pebbles
that I
and
find
sticks,
along the way.
and then right.
like little shiny things. If you find
they
a
do
really
that.
cool, no, like seriously, that's why I think gifts is my second one. It's like if you find a really cool rock or like a piece of sea glass, or like a cool
I thought
leaf,
of you. I've thought
and
of
you're
you.
like, I thought you would like this, and it's really cool, and I'm gonna
over the moon.
Fuck yeah,
Over the moon.
Yeah.
Kevin
Instant
used to
melts.
Kevin used to pick
immediately.
flowers from his.
That's so
parents-
cute.
I know, from his parents' front yard and bring them
You
inside.
get me a single flower that you
singular.
thought was adorable. Yeah, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
die.
little jasmine, the little
Right.
jasmine
Oh,
flowers,
God,
because they
jasmine.
only bloom.
in February.
There was another one that I saw when I was looking up jokes earlier that was like, my love language is your hoodie. And it's like, that's gifts too. Is like,
Right.
let
That
me
is
borrow
gifts.
an
Let
item
me
of clothing that I know you cherish.
Dude,
Yeah, that's a big
soft
one.
pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
How
that
often
smells
do you
like
take
you.
my soft pants?
Oh, I love your
because I
soft
love
pants.
you.
Oh, I love
Because I
you.
do. I love you. And when you're wearing hard pants and you're like, Ash, do you have any pajama
I've
bottoms?
never heard that
and I'm
before.
like, here's my soft pants.
Yeah.
Here you
What
go.
did you say
These
the
are my
other? You,
softest pants.
you were wearing hard pants.
I
and
was.
Me was
Ashley-
like, why are
Ashley
you
wore
wearing
hard pants
those?
to work on a Friday? And I was
You're
like,
like,
why
why
the
are
fuck
you
would you do
doing
that to
that?
yourself?
God.
What, are you trying to, do you like
Hard-
torture?
Hard pants are jeans, FYI. And she was like, why are you wearing hard pants? Soft pants only. And I was like,
Exactly.
Fuck yeah,
Guess
soft
what? We
That's a
both
good
wore
point.
soft pants. to work
Soft pants today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gifts don't have to cost anything, but they can. The point is, for people whose love language is gifts, no matter what the gift is, it is a visual, tangible representation of your love for that person. Gifts might be your love language if you feel loved when you received gifts. Even if the present itself is silly, it's the thought behind it that counts. The gift becomes an object that helps you remember the person and fills you with love. If after a date or a trip, you like to take home special mementos with you.
Okay, but that's also like part of my culture.
Right.
That's a to do. Like omiyage in
Oh, yeah,
Japanese
okay.
is a very important part. Like it's a gift that you bring home for your family.
Yeah.
From when you go on.
From
a
when
trip.
you go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's literally the
What's it called?
omiyage.
I
Omiyage.
do that
So you
every
you
time
bring
I
home
go
a little
somewhere.
gift for your
Look,
family.
you
or your
are
friends.
partially Japanese because you do that all the time.
I'll accept you.
Arigato.
Hi.
If during holidays, birthdays, and anniversaries, you want to commemorate those moments with something special, and if those days are extra special to you and you love using those as a reminder of your love for people, gift giving might be for you. If the gesture of receiving gifts demonstrates that you feel seen, cared for, and prized, or if you thrive on thoughtfulness behind gestures, and if you treasure nostalgic items, gift giving might be your love language. So, what we're going to do is take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about possibly some new love
I have
languages.
so many ideas.
And we are also going to talk about how love languages, if used alone, could potentially be harmful to a relationship, and how you can use love languages in conjunction with our other 2 episodes in this afternoon delight to make your relationship holistic and fully rounded rather than just relying on the love languages, which are not necessarily scientific, but have some validity, I think. There is some validity behind them. So join us when we come back on the other side. We're going to talk to you a little bit about the love languages we think should be added. And we'd love to hear from you what your love languages would be if you could rewrite it. Join us on the other side.
Help me understand how you speak your love language. Bad as I wanna be yours, I can get with your program. Section like a slow jam. Stick around cause I want to. Bad as I wanna keep focused. You remind me I'm imperfect and it sucks to admit. Nobody put that purpose in me like you do. Still, nobody get that work up on me like you do. Nobody get the truth about me quite like you. You're the definition of my right hand. Never mind riding backseat when you leave me. Talk to me in your love language. Show me.
Is your bedroom getting boring? Does your sex life feel stale? Or are you just looking for a fun date night activity? Aria has got you covered. Aria's carefully cultivated Choose Your Own Adventure box is like no subscription service you have ever encountered. You and your partner fill out a sexy questionnaire to help the intimacy experts tailor your boxes to your comfortability, range of sexual likes and dislikes, and create specialized scenes for both of you to enjoy. Each box is hand curated with high quality items to enhance your sexy scene and includes Spotify playlists, provides ideas for starting the scene, and encourages you to have boundaries, safe words, and aftercare. And throughout the process, your personal concierge will text you, email you, and get you excited for your sexy night in. Whether you're looking to increase your kink or just become closer to your partner, Aria has a scene for you. Visit aria.fyi.com and use our code WYP15 at checkout for 15% off your first 3 months and try on a new side of your sensual self. That's WYP15. Aria, your playful mentor for all things sexy.
She's sweet like candy in my veins. Baby, I'm dying for another taste. And every night my mind is running around her. Thunder's getting louder and louder. Baby, you're like lightning in a bottle. I can't let you go now that I got it. And all I need is to be struck by your electric love.
Welcome back, fellow human, to a quickie.
Humans, plural.
Human.
There might
Human.
only be one.
Human.
Okay.
What if there's just one?
What if there's just like one person that
Just
listens
you.
to us, and that's it?
Just you,
It's just me because I do
Just
the
you.
Just you.
because
Kevin.
we do the editing, and I'm the
Welcome
only one
back.
that fucking listens.
Welcome back, Kevin. Welcome back.
You cunt.
You cunt. Welcome back, fellow human, to our quickie about love languages. We are going to talk about what we think a good addition to the love languages is. I have 3.
Wow.
Kevin
Fine.
has 1.
That it's gonna be kind of.
And it's
I have 5.
and
It's inappropriate.
inappropriate. And Mia has 5.
I thought of
because
another one during the
Holy-
break. I'm sorry.
She's an overachiever.
No,
So
it just was. It just started
okay.
coming to me.
we're gonna go around the room until we don't have any more. So Mia's gonna start,
Okay.
Okay.
and then I'm gonna go, and then you're gonna go and be done.
Yeah. No, that's the right way to approach it.
Right?
Yeah.
So, what is your first new love language? And oh, by the way, listener, we're going to play salad, sandwich, soup. And if you don't know what salad sandwich,
Every food or beverage item can
the
be
world.
classified
Yeah.
in the world as a soup,
sandwich,
salad, or
sandwich, unless it's by itself. A steak,
no,
I
like
mean,
it's
think about
it's
it.
you can't do that.
What,
Sushi.
minimum 3
Sandwich.
ingredients.
Sandwich.
Minimum
It's a minimum of 3 ingredients.
minimum 3
Yeah.
ingredients.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just
Otherwise,
meat
it's
and
just-
potato.
What about a
yeah.
cake?
That's a sandwich.
Sandwich. Okay.
God.
Yeah.
Duh.
Okay. No, I just-
Cocktail, that's a soup.
That's a total
soup.
soup.
This is
Absolute
cheers
soup. Cheers
to soup.
Good
Yeah.
soup.
Good soup. Good soup. Good soup. Wrong place.
Thank you
Yeah,
to
I did
our
make that a little strong.
thank you to our
yummy.
mixologist husband Kevin Weller, who just made us a lavender lemonade.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
So, this is soup, salad, sandwich,
Pasta, that's a salad.
absolutely
Sorry.
salad.
Yeah.
Just had to give you one
It
more.
really
example.
is. So when you tell me your love language, I'm going to tell you if it fits into one of the categories that already exists of love language.
Well, yes, because we were talking about
but
this
it
during
might
the
not.
break. No,
maybe
'cause
you're
I-
a revolutionary.
Maybe.
Mia.
Okay, I guess
Great.
we'll find out.
Then
Guess
I
we'll
know
find out.
mine is definitely going to be in there.
Okay, my first
Son of a
one
bitch.
is desire or like passion, like intimate connection.
Okay, I don't think that falls into
I
any.
mean, one could argue that it's quality time.
Great. You
One
just
could
fucking
argue it's
stole
physical
mine,
touch.
Mia.
True. Oh, really? Yeah, no, because I feel like you can have such good banter with somebody, such a good what's it called? Like a like a friendship with somebody.
Yeah.
But it doesn't ever necessarily go beyond a friendship
because you don't have the spark.
Yeah, being on an intimate level with somebody is completely different. And I feel like it's
The only thing I'm going to argue for you is that I think the 5 love languages can be cast upon outer relationships rather than just a romantic relationship.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I feel like this is absolutely perfect for romantic relationships. And I don't think that physical touch or quality time necessarily touches upon the feelings of desire.
Yeah. I mean, also, okay, to be devil's advocate, if we're talking about a friendship being intimate or having an intimate connection on a friendship level, that could be like, I'm telling you my deepest, darkest secrets. I'm talking about
bearing your soul.
Yeah, we're trauma jumping. Like we're, you know, like, yeah, I care about your and value your opinion on what I'm doing with my life. Like,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. I desire to know you on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, sure, I was thinking about it more on sex, but
it is.
yes. Yes.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do. Okay. Husband, can I guess what yours is?
Yeah.
Is it blowjobs?
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it.
Oh my God. The fact that you know that, I hate
Well, that's
so
why.
funny.
Yeah, that's why we've been together 19
My
years.
love language is the Gluck Gluck 9000.
Yeah.
Kevin's love language is gobbies. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
everyone. So we can just skip you then.
Yeah. That's
right.
all I got.
Ash, you're next.
So I want to advocate for emotional love language. So feeling connected when a partner supports them through difficult and scary emotions, or feeling like your friend is able, or your family
Like you can lean on that person.
you can depend, dependability,
put your full weight on that person. Yeah.
Yes, where you can come to them
Totally.
with really deep emotions, joy, it is, for me, when I am my truest version of myself, I am very large. And I'm a tiny person. For
What?
those of you who do,
You're a golden retriever.
Say it right.
large.
Thank you.
Welcome. I'm a lot of I've been told I'm a lot, and it hurts my feelings actually when people say that. And
I like all of you.
I know you do.
Bring it. Bring it, bitch.
Bring more. It hurts when people say that I'm bigger or dramatic or a lot. It sucks because I don't know how to be less, because I love to give my whole heart to people. So when people accept you for all of your emotions, I feel like that is a really good.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
And I can't soup salad sandwich that.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Because I feel like being able to kind of be fully transparent with your partner or with your friend is
Scary.
being completely comfortable in yourself and not feeling like you're wearing a mask with that person. That's
Ooh.
a completely different form of
If I've had an anxiety meltdown in front of you, I love you. Looking at both of you.
Oh, I fucking love you.
I love it.
High five.
High five.
High five to meltdown.
High five to meltdowns. Yay. Okay. What's your next one?
I mean, okay, we already did kind of talk about this with gift giving, but I was thinking like thoughtful or a meaningful gift, not like a random shit
No.
like, oh, I bought you this purse because it was. I know you like purses. like
Versace?
I got you this rock because it was really cool. Like we already talked about that, so
Yeah.
I'll skip to my
Okay.
next one. Comedy or like sense of humor, like being able to share a similar sense of humor with somebody, I think is so important.
Okay, I can't soup salad
Because
sandwich
if
that.
you don't get it, like if you don't get what I'm trying to say as a joke, like that's a whole level of communication that we're not on the same plane
Right.
of. And I feel
Okay.
like comedy is really important.
Because do you have one, honey? No, you don't.
Like inside jokes too, like that
Inside
becomes
jokes are a
like
big
your
one.
own little like
Yeah.
thing that you can look at each other and be like, LOL. Like that's
I just
LOL.
thought of
You know
another
what I
one.
want?
I just thought of another love
You know what I
language.
mean?
God damn
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
So I actually think piggybacking off of that, being able to be goofy.
Yeah. Like
With
being able to be
somebody
fucking stupid. Like
stupid.
say the dumbest shit that comes to your.
Say
There was
the
this TikTok
dumbest-
down that was going around that was like, the thing that you don't want to say because you think it's too much, fucking say it. I
Say
want to
it.
hear it. Like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Like, just say it.
Sometimes
No filter.
None.
Yeah.
Sometimes Kevin and I say things back and forth to one another and then realize
I'm like, dude, if anybody ever heard us, oh
Right.
my God.
anybody overheard
Right?
our
Exactly.
conversation.
Yeah, they'd be like,
Exactly.
what? You guys are fucking
It's
idiots.
because you're on the same page about that. And you
Yeah.
know that
Yeah.
it's just,
It's okay.
it's just
Yeah.
banter.
I can
It's
say
just
whatever I
banter.
want,
It's
and
just so
everybody's,
funny.
you know,
Yeah.
you'll be on the same.
Yeah.
I agree.
You'll laugh.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw one back at you.
Okay.
I feel like another love language is the arts. Being able to be interested
One
in
of
the
mine,
same.
one of mine. My next one
Is this
is
one?
my next one is nerding out, hyperfixations, and shared interests.
Yes.
Yes. So like
The
yes,
arts, like
the arts.
The arts. Is this what
Music.
aimed at me? Is this like a
Like-
no,
I'm
no,
just
no,
kidding.
no.
No, like being able to talk about your favorite sports team together,
Yeah.
your favorite.
We just went and saw 311,
Psychology.
babe, and
Yeah.
we
your
nerded
favorite
No,
the
I
band
was
out.
kidding
Yeah.
because she
Yeah.
wanted to go to, where did we go? The Getty.
Oh, no,
And I was
that's
just
fine.
like-
I'll go with your mom.
I wanted to get out of there so fast.
Like being able to talk in depth and at length about your favorite topic is
Yeah.
so. It's
Even if the other
so
person doesn't give a
cool.
shit about it, but they
Right,
will be
yes.
like, I don't care.
But,
Like, I will
when
be
your
there to listen.
partner
Yeah.
learns how to, like, if your partner knows that you really love Fortnite and they don't,
Yeah.
and they learn how to play Fortnite because they
Yeah.
want to be able to
Right.
converse with you,
Totally
right?
right. Or like you.
Kevin
love-
knows what house he's in for Harry
Yeah.
Potter.
Yeah, you don't.
He's a
you've
fucking
never read the
Slytherin.
book.
He's a
Oh,
fucking
that,
Slytherin.
that makes sense. That tracks. I'm a Hufflepuff.
And this funny thing, when you say that, I'm like, I don't know what you
Right.
mean.
Right, like your girl being really into astrology and learning what your big three are. Like that's huge.
Yeah.
Like you
Not
know,
making fun of someone for things that they love.
or like
Yeah,
that's
that's a
something
good
that
one.
also like friendships and relationships can kind of be
Exactly.
built on
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah.
we met because we were both at a convention at Comic-Con and we were both at the Harry Potter booth.
Yeah.
And now we're together because
Yeah.
that's how we met, over a shared interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like being a regular at a place or going to a yoga class, you know, like shit like
Yeah.
that is how you meet people in
Yeah.
the first place.
Shared
So-
interests. I think you're right.
Mutual
But, okay,
I said
do
arts,
you
but I think
believe it's the
shared
same
interests.
thing as the other person has no fucking like desire to learn or doesn't care about it, but is there and is like, yeah,
I know.
totally.
I think
like,
it's the same
yeah,
thing. Somebody
right,
who's
yeah.
willing to listen to you, explain
Yeah.
it all, and like be
You're like,
there.
you know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, totally. Like, yeah, but I have no clue.
Like it's okay.
But yeah.
Like being willing to listen to me talk
Yeah.
for 3 hours
Yeah.
about why I think XYZ is
You want
the
to know?
best.
Do you want to
Like,
know a perfect example, babe? What you
What?
just said?
Yeah.
I watched you play hours, hours
Of Xbox.
Xbox.
Yeah, yeah.
And I asked you to explain things to me. I wasn't. I wasn't on my phone.
And like
'cause we didn't
genuinely
have
wanting
that.
to know the answer though,
Yeah.
not like saying it because you're like, oh yeah, that's so
No. I mean, when I say that, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I actually want to
Right.
hear what you have to say.
Yes.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about,
Right.
but I'm like there
like,
for
fuck
it. I'm there for it.
There's this couple that I followed on TikTok. The girl makes slideshows for her partner about like random shit that's going on, like drama in the community or like true crime, things like that.
Oh my
And
God.
she'll present it.
PowerPoints?
Yes, PowerPoints, full on
That's
fucking
hilarious.
PowerPoints, and she presents it to him.
Aw.
And he asks questions. He's engaged. She's giving responses, and I'm like, that's what I fucking want.
But I love
Yeah,
that. She's
yeah.
tapping
Let
into how
me-
he learns
Yes,
too, which is
Yeah.
a very
exactly.
good thing
Yeah,
to do,
yeah,
right?
like let me just info dump on you a little bit.
Right.
What's
That's
your last
cute.
one?
Food, specifically
Ooh, yeah.
cooking something from your partner's culture.
All right, I'm gonna
Being-
soup salad
okay.
sandwich this.
Like
That's an acts of service.
No, totally, I agree, but I think it also goes into gift giving too, like
Yeah.
like taking something from your partner that you don't know,
Yeah.
that you're willing to spend your time learning and perfecting.
You
Like,
know what I'm willing to do is go and find out where that food smell is coming from.
I know,
Figure out.
I can smell that too. I was just thinking,
I'm like,
No,
I'm
like-
all, what are our neighbors cooking?
Right?
Like, I'm kind of
Hello?
curious.
you've heard of things like marry me chicken, or
Yeah.
like, you know, like if somebody's has a funeral, you bring them a casserole.
Yeah.
Or like
Oh,
there
yeah,
is
yeah.
a family recipe.
Food is a love
There's a
language.
family recipe that's passed down. Like everybody knows that recipe. So
Do you
now that
guys
you
ha-
marry into that family.
Do you have one? Do you have one?
Not really. I mean, there's definitely like my sick food. My go-to sick food
Hmm.
is like what do I like?
Miso soup.
Well,
I do like miso.
in my
That's my
family.
hungover
In my family,
food.
my
I like
grandma has a raspberry jam
Yeah.
recipe.
See?
And that's something that's like when somebody makes that, if they can, it's kind of like,
it's so cool. Like there's this podcast that I listen to called Obituary. Shout out. I fucking love them so much. They're in Long Beach. Listen to that podcast.
I'd love for them to come on the podcast.
It'd be so cool. They read this
Obituaries.
one.
Give us a shout out.
Right?
Shout
out.
We give you one. You give us one.
They read this one post on Reddit or something where they were talking about after their parent had passed away, somebody had tried to learn like their recipe, like this cake recipe that they would always make, and they had finally like figured it out, and it was like such an amazing experience for everyone to taste that cake again.
They're like, wait,
it's such
what
a
did you
strong,
do? Yeah,
I think talking about like the psychology of it, the association that your brain makes with a certain taste or
olfactory
a certain smell,
our olfactory
and a memory
system
is huge.
Yeah,
and
like,
that's why I think it's its own category.
Music does that.
Yeah,
that taste does that.
That's kind of why I said
back.
Arts, because cooking is an art, music is an art, art is an art. Whoa, bro.
Big brain.
That was fucking.
My last one is actually, I feel like its own like thing. Well, that was an interesting sound. Oh, this was a notification that tomorrow will be mostly sunny. High of 77 degrees.
Weird that came through on the. I don't know why I did that. That's bizarre.
Anyway,
thanks for our weather update.
Well,
and now the weather. The last one I feel like needs to be its own category because it's actually its own category of sexual orientation.
Okay.
oh,
And it's called sapiosexual.
oh, like brain smarts.
When someone
That's why I said nerding out about something.
I know, but I feel like when nerding out about Harry Potter is different.
Or psychology, or your
psychology.
sports team.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm talking about. Like
really connecting through the mind, valuing your partners.
Okay,
So,
I
like,
will agree
you
with you on that.
Sploosh if you are explaining.
Like
something
if
that's
we
very...
could talk about Maslow's hierarchy in depth,
Oh
like
my God.
I've been thinking about that this whole episode, by the way. Getting your basic needs fulfilled is really hot.
Maslow's
I just want
so
food
hot.
and shelter, God. Like it's really hot.
When you also feel like your partner values your opinion.
It's yes. Oh my gosh.
When you feel like they don't talk down to you, when you feel like an equal when you're speaking to someone.
Yeah.
And that can transcend romantic relationships.
You can like add on to ideas. You can build something together.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really cool. I agree with that.
love when you can bounce ideas off of people, take part in thoughtful discussions, and even like really important discussions, political discussions.
And kind of like test the boundaries of your own,
and
your own
listen,
ideas and beliefs.
understand the importance of like other people's opinions. And I think the reason it's so important is because we've been taught in this society that our opinion matters, and so the opinion of the other doesn't. And it's not a zero-sum game. Because my opinion matters doesn't make your opinion matter less, right? So it's important that we hear other people's point of view and accept that they have it.
Yeah.
We don't have to agree. It's so beautiful to be able to have a conversation with someone who you don't agree with.
Right.
And hear their side and understand a whole new perspective of life or sex.
I think
or
about like
relationships.
politics a lot when it comes to this. Like it being in a relationship with somebody who has the opposite political view of you, like
That sounds fun.
it could be really difficult. But if you're willing to like come to a common ground on the big things, and figure out what those big things are to both of you, like,
or have a conversation that has respect in it. My dad, my real dad, and I do not agree on politics. In every sense of the word. Absolute opposites.
Yeah.
But him and I have some of the most respectful conversations about politics because he never belittles my ideas and I never belittle him.
He's a pretty smart guy.
He's
very
smart.
He's very kind.
Yeah, he is. He's extremely kind. And I think that a lot of the way that he listens and he gets very passionate. Weird.
Thinking about this makes me kind of feel like communication could be its own thing.
Ooh,
Like open communication.
I like that.
Unfiltered communication.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, but not unfiltered, because sometimes you have to filter it to be kind, right? You can't just say what You can't just verbal
it shouldn't be
Strategic
a,
communication.
or kind communication.
It shouldn't be like a
Compassionate
reaction.
Yeah.
It
compassionate.
should be thoughtful.
Yeah, thoughtful.
Yeah.
Compassionate.
Yeah.
What's good about the love languages? They
good.
promote selflessness. What good? They promote selflessness. When you're committed to learning about someone else's love language, you're focused on their needs rather than your own. Ideally, both people in the partnership, whether it be a friendship or a family relationship or a romantic partnership, ideally, they want to learn to discover each other's and want to express love and express care across both sides. Love languages create empathy. When you learn more about how your partner experiences love, when I told Kevin that my love language was acts of service, he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Like, I have
It's like a light bulb.
been doing that, and
Yeah.
let me start. Like, fuck. And it creates this idea of like, oh, emotional intelligence, how to put someone else's needs above yours. It's almost like this
Empathy is
picture.
huge.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
it's like
agree.
I picture two people who are leaning against one another.
Yeah.
I got you and you've got me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how relationships should be.
And like feeling secure in it.
yeah.
Not feeling like, what if he leans away
Or
and I fall?
if he does the dishes, I have to make up for it.
Right.
Like, I don't. I've got him and he's got me. Love languages help maintain intimacy. They help you grow personally. We were just talking about how insightful you become when you
Yeah.
learn your love language and when you learn your partner's love language. It helps you share love in meaningful ways. But the love languages can also cause some problems. So for some people, if the only tool they're using in their relationship is the 5 love languages,
Yeah, that won't work.
they can be used for scorekeeping. If you use the all or nothing paradigm, or if you say, well, I gave gifts and he didn't give anything, but you're not seeing that his love language is acts of service. So if you're expecting gifts because you like gifts, but he's changing the oil in your car, or dropping the kids off when you don't have time, or
Yeah.
he's doing your laundry, or he's picking up dinner,
Yeah.
or he's dropping off.
Yeah, I could see if you,
You
just
know?
focus on these.
Yeah.
Like you can go.
It's not a zero-sum game,
Right,
you guys.
Right.
So
This is just something you should think and be
Yeah.
like, oh, I need
It's
to be
a-
aware of this.
Yeah, it's a good stepping stone.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
Building block,
great
stepping stone.
tool.
Stepping
Yeah.
stone.
It's a
Yeah.
great tool in the relationship toolbox. It should not be the toolbox.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Love languages can change over time, and people don't realize that. As I said at the beginning of the episode, if your partnership is fulfilling the need of gift giving and the previous partnership wasn't, and that was your love language because you were being deprived of that, then yeah, you may notice that gift giving becomes more prominent in a relationship. Or if gift giving and words, if you start dating someone who all they talk about is how beautiful you're so beautiful, you're so gorgeous, I love you, your body's so, you're such a, I love you, I'm obsessed with
But they don't do
but
shit.
they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Or they're constantly waiting on you hand and foot, bringing you everything that you need. And you're like, okay, I actually just want to spend time with you. Like, I don't
Right.
want to be worshiped. Right.
Right.
So there's,
Yeah.
you may be getting your needs fulfilled in some ways and not others. And your love language may change over time. So making
Yeah.
sure that you are aware of what you need and you're vocalizing that to your partner.
Communication.
Hello. We also can start to think that love has to come from other people. So
Yeah. Okay.
acts of service, I really should probably start being nicer to myself and and doing nice things for me.
Yeah. Give yourself acts of service.
Give myself
Treat
acts of-
yourself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
If physical
Great
touch.
episode.
Treat yourself.
great episode.
Great episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
Yes.
season.
We started
You're
watching
right.
it.
Treat
We
yourself.
started watching it again.
2016.
Seriously, have a treat yourself.
Have a treat
day.
yourself.
Tweet
day.
yourself.
If physical touch is your love language, masturbate. Hey.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh,
Right?
you know what I was just thinking? I have not air horned this entire.
Fucked up, bro.
I wonder if people who prefer physical touch like
Masturbate more?
Masturbation, or like being eaten out more, or like oral sex more, or like
that
fingering more. Okay, sorry. Let me write it down.
All right, we're gonna have to figure this out.
Write that down. The love languages are not a universal salve. So learning to speak each other's love languages will not remedy toxic behaviors, nor will they fix an issue that is deeper than you don't take out the trash, right? Typically all are stem from one thing and then spiral out of control. So getting to the conflict base and making sure you have a resolution for that is important. So getting out of this infinity loop idea, stop having the same argument. We're going to talk about this in the Gottman episode, but 60% of couples have the same argument over and over and over again.
Jesus. Yeah.
And what was the most amazing fact that we learned when we went to therapy?
60% of all marital problems cannot be solved.
How nuts
Wait,
is that?
what? What do you mean
Yeah.
it can't be solved?
Oh, we'll talk about it more at the Gottman episode.
Yeah, that's a
so
fucking
curious.
that's a fucking brain fuck. And
Holy
then you're like,
shit.
and then that just just puts your sword
But also,
down.
it's okay, because I remember reading this in the Lori Mintz book, and this was like the biggest reason I wanted my mom to read this, is that an argument isn't about winning.
No,
yeah,
right.
no.
It's about having a
Right.
communication.
Yeah,
It's
no,
about having a
100%.
conversation. I mean, yeah.
60% of marital disagreements will never
that
be
think
solved.
about
Okay, I
it.
see what
You
you're
will
saying
put
now.
the-
Okay,
You will
okay.
put the fucking sword down immediately, and you'll be like,
Oh.
oh fuck.
Right.
Okay, wait a second.
There's
So we're
there-
not supposed to fight.
No.
It's
We're
a-
not supposed to argue nonstop.
There is no. You can have
there-
an argument at this conversation
Yeah.
volume. You don't need to be
Right,
screaming
but I mean,
at one
think about it.
another.
If
Yeah.
you are conservative, I'm liberal. We
Yeah.
will never fucking see eye to eye on anything that's political
The
for the
thing
most
that-
part, at least.
You want to know the biggest
But
thing
if we're-
that Kevin and I fight about that will never ever be solved is time.
Yeah.
I want to be early to
Yeah, right.
everything.
That is
God.
true. And I'm like, fuck, dude. If we are gonna go to a party and they say it's starting at 8, we're gonna be there at like 11 for sure.
Oh my god, that makes me anxious.
hurts my chest. I want to be there at 7:45 in case
I'll
they
be
need
out
help.
there at like
Fashionably
I'll be there
late,
at like
people.
8:30
Oh,
or
God.
9,
That's an okay. That's an okay.
like
No, it
around the
isn't.
start.
No, it
That's an okay time.
My throat's closing.
I don't want to be the first one there.
No, fuck
You
that.
want
I
to be the
do.
first one
Absolutely. I want to see if I can help.
there? Oh. Okay, so think about your relationship like you would think about when you're gonna get to a party.
There you go.
Which person are you gonna help set up?
Are you going to be the
help
one that
break it
wants to come
down?
late, or the one that wants to get there?
Are you just
early?
DDing? You're not even going to the party.
You want to come late and leave early.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Love languages.
You don't want to do any work.
No, not at all.
Nope.
Love languages can help you
I
get
drive the
used
drunk people.
to a quick fix. So if you want to get a quick fix, a love language can be helpful, but it isn't going to help you get to the deeper issues. And love languages aren't going to fix underlying issues. So again, love languages were not scientifically studied.
Yeah.
These were just something that a minister came up with to help his congregation who came to him with marital problems. And there was actually a bunch of scientists in Canada,
A.
Love Canada.
who did a meta-analysis, which is what, Mia?
So meta.
That's when you look at a bunch of different studies
Yeah.
and look at the results that
Correct.
each study found.
That is
and
absolutely
kind of analyze them against each other.
perfect. They looked at over 15 studies that looked at love languages and asked questions like, is your relationship satisfaction based on your love language? Does your love language determine whether or not you will stay with your partner?
Oh.
And there were absolutely zero results that were significant.
Wow.
Ooh, wow.
I know.
That's so interesting. What was the sample size though?
They did 15 studies
Wow.
that looked at
Okay.
love languages.
Okay.
So big.
Yeah.
Right.
So nothing was conclusive.
None of the studies supported any of Chapman's claims.
Yeah.
None
yeah.
of them. None of them.
Wow.
I mean, I guess that makes sense because he didn't look at it from a scientific. He just was like, "Hey, I think
This is what
will
I
help.
like.
This is what I like.
This is what I
think will
noticed
help."
my wife
This
says
is what I've noticed.
sometimes, I
Again,
guess.
he did not
Right.
write this book with the intent of being on the bestsellers list for 300 weeks. He
Right.
didn't. He didn't know he was going to be viral. So when
Right.
people are mad at him, it's not his fault.
Yeah, you just really have to. I mean, do your own research. The
Hello?
internet,
Yeah.
their internet is a tool. Anyone can use it.
And he never
Please
claimed it to be
fucking use it.
Please
scientific.
use it.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people what ends up happening is people go to the website of the 5 love languages and they get a response that says, this is your primary love language. And then they hyperfixate on it. And I actually believe that our relationships require much more, require all 5, if not 6, if not 7.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of the above.
You forgot that one.
Blowjobs. I'm sorry, 8. So sorry, honey.
All of them.
God,
Thank
Like
you.
an octopus.
Thank you for getting that.
you're welcome. I'm here. I hear you. I hear your need and your love language, and I will support you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So it is important to remember that, yes, you may crave a specific type of interaction. But where does this stem from? You
Right.
know, and there is an argument that specific people who rate acts of service actually have a specific attachment style. And there have been studies that have looked at love
That makes
languages
sense. Correlations between love languages and
attachment styles. But there is an argument to be made that people who have secure attachment tend to rate equally among all of the love languages, or state that all of the love languages make sense to them.
Yeah.
Which is funny because both you and Kevin said that at least 3 out of the 4 love languages were in your top categories.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas I am vividly like acts of
Right.
service, which is a hint
I feel
into
like there was-
episode number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a better study of correlation would be between like the ocean personality types
Yes.
and attachment style.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and I think
That would be really interesting.
I think that it's interesting to think about why you need that love language to be met in that moment.
Because it all goes back to your childhood
It
trauma.
does. There and really we need to be looking at who we are as people,
Right.
and how we grew up, the culture, the society that we grew up in, and the love that we received as a child. You specifically said your dad hugged you.
Yeah.
It was so funny how when we went to therapy, like she spent so much time on that, and I was like, I had never even thought that would have even been had any bearing or very little bearing on the way we fought now and today. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah, no wonder we keep doing this, because it's like ingrained in us.
Yeah.
And that's why 60% of marital arguments are not
Be solved.
can't be solved.
Which is, if we're going to boil it to fucking dirt and minerals,
Yeah.
communication is
Yeah.
the number
Absolutely.
one, because you have
Yeah.
to be able to communicate that with your partner.
So
that
then-
you're not meeting my needs,
Right.
and I need you to do that for me.
I think that we should, as a group, vote on adding communication as a love language. All in favor, say aye.
I
Yeah.
Aye.
Yep.
All right, it wins. That's no.
All right.
That was the most like unfulfilling, unsatisfying sound effect. Can you pick a different one?
Like an applause in there.
in a glass case of emotion.
Yeah, honestly, that's pretty good. I'll
That's
take
better.
that.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
But like, be in
yeah.
the glass case with me.
Be in the case, or be on the outside if you're avoided. So
More on that.
more on that. So what we're gonna do is we are going to end this episode of the quickie of love languages, because we're going to do a second episode about relationships on attachment styles, and we are going to discuss how this science and this theory actually has bearing and weight in your relationship, and how it can help you have a better relationship. And when using love languages and how you like to show and receive love, while also understanding maybe where it stems from, you can not only enhance your toolbox, but you can utilize your toolbox in the best possible way in every relationship, not just romantic, but friends and family, coworkers, even
Totally.
understanding them in full. We are adding communication, and we are adding hobbies, and we are adding
shared interests.
and we're shared interest and intellect. I think can be one shared interest and intellect.
And intimacy.
And intimacy. I think we're adding 3: communication,
Nice.
Intimacy.
and
intellect.
And intellect.
I liked that.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
That's good. That's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
Okay, which
Good.
one are you? Let us know.
Let us know. Come on, comment. We love it. Join us for part 2. Thank you so much for joining us for part 1. Stay safe, stay kind, and stay sexy.
What's Your Position podcast represents the opinions of Ashley Weller and her guests. The content here should not be taken as medical advice and is intended for education and entertainment purposes only. Views and opinions expressed in the podcast are our own and do not represent that of our places of work. While we make every effort to ensure the information we are sharing is accurate, we welcome any comments, suggestions, or correction of error. Stay safe, stay kind, and stay sexy.